works. So this is your schematic representation of the HIV protein. So what happens, this HIV virus, it always has a double capsid membrane with all its enzymes which is being inside the virus protein. So it has its RNA as a genetic material. So what happens is that once it goes and attacks the T helper cells, it eventually transfers or dislocates or eventually drastically change its position. So it changes position. So this position, what makes this, once this position is being continuously changed, the proteins produced inside this HIV virus, proteins produced will also change. So this is the simple mechanism of HIV. Once it attacks the T helper cells, it alters its position frequently in such a manner, the proteins which have been produced by this HIV will also change. So because of that, still now there is no clear identification of medicine for that, but in some cases, prolonged year, there are some individuals who got eradicated from this disease by certain types of medicines which is being applicable only to a single individual. In that case, if a person is given with one medicine which treats HIV, the same medicine is not working with the other individual which is having the HIV. Why? Because this is because of this changing the position. So because since it changes its position, its RNA nature, RNA protein is also changing, which alters the drastic structure of the protein and makes it difficult to find the medication. Clear with that? So how it is being transmitted? It is eventually transmitted by means of the sexual intercourse, as I had already explained, which is not very safe, and contaminated blood transfusion. If unhealthy person or the infected person gives it to the clean and proper individual, that may be also one reason, or simply by infected mother to the womb, or by sharing the needles also of the infected person. So how can we prevent it? Safe intercourse, safe sexual intercourse, avoid sharing those syringes with the unhealthy or the HIV affected person. And if a mother is being infected with the HIV, the proper cesarean method and proper medication or proper antibiotic which is given at the time of delivery of the child will also protects the safe delivery by the cesarean in such a way that the womb or the child or the younger one is not being affected by HIV. Okay, so this is the concept about health and hygiene. So we started with what is health and what are the types or how we can prevent the health. Then comes to your types of immunity, and then certain types of pathogens, or what is pathogen and what different types of pathogen, and we come to know about what is communicable disease and non-communicable disease. Then the incubation period, what is incubation period, which is specific for some example disease also being given. Then finally comes to your types of hygiene or hygiene. In that case, we classified them into two. One is personal hygiene, then one is next is community hygiene, and that is being followed by Pandemic Health Organization, which follows a strict rule for this total world for the health should be maintained, health and hygiene should be maintained. And finally followed by a deadly disease which is called as AIDS, and its signs and symptoms and the preventive measures are also discussed. So here are some questions for testing your skull which you had listened till now. Okay, so the first one is dash is a transmission of a healthy person without intermediate agent. So I have talked about direct transmission, indirect transmission, which comes under communicable disease. So the question is dash is a transmission of a healthy person without any intermediate. Intermediate means no other pathogens which is being acts as a vector. There is a pathogen which carries a disease, but no pathogen acts as a vector. So what will be the answer? Which is an indirect transmission. Indirect means by blood or something. Direct is nothing but you're sneezing, coughing or something. Innate immunity means that is entirely different. Which is nothing but your body's naturally acquired immunity power to fight against the pathogen. So what will be the answer? So your answer is direct transmission. The second one is, which is the fatal disease, deadly disease, which reduces the immunity of your body. Just now we have seen. Which is the fatal and deadly disease which fight against the immunity to reduce it. One is AIDS, another one is tuberculosis, syphilis. Syphilis is nothing but it's a bacterial sexually transmitted disease. So the answer is A, AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Then,
welcome to Paripurna. Now our topic is polynomials and square roots of algebraic expression. First of all, we see what is polynomial. Polynomial is nothing but an algebraic expression in which the variables involved have only non-negative integral powers is called a polynomial. We have a algebraic expression. Algebraic expression is nothing but a combination of constants and variables. In that algebraic expression, the variables only having a non-negative integral powers, then only we can say that is a polynomial. Example for our polynomial is nothing but 5x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 1. This is an example for polynomial because this is nothing but a algebraic expression. This expression is nothing but combination of constants and variables. Once again, our powers of our variable is nothing but a positive values. In first term, power of x is 3. Here power of x is 2. Here the power of x is 1. Here there is no x, means power of x value is 0. So in all the terms our power of x value is positive value. So this is a example for polynomial. Our second example is 2 is the remainder obtained when the polynomial x cube plus x square minus 9x minus 9 divided by x, x plus 1 and x plus 2 respectively are. Okay, in this problem we want to calculate a remainder value, so we can apply remainder theorem. The statement of remainder theorem is nothing but if the polynomial is divided by some x minus a, means the remainder is f of a. So we can rewrite our divisor into x is nothing but x minus 0, x plus 1 is x minus of minus 1 and x plus 2 is x minus of minus 2. So we take our polynomial as some f of x. So our f of x is here x cube plus x square minus 9x minus 9. By our remainder theorem, our remainders are nothing but here the divisor is x minus 0. So the remainder is f of 0. So in this expression you replace our x value by 0, means first 3 term get cancelled. So the remaining value is minus 9. If you divide a polynomial by x minus of minus 1, means the remainder is f of minus 1. If you put x value by minus 1, means minus 1 plus 9 minus 9. So all the terms get cancelled. So the remaining is 0. Suppose the polynomial is divided by x minus of minus 2, means the remainder is f of minus 2. So replace our x value by minus 2 in our polynomial. So minus 2 whole cube is nothing but minus 8 plus 4. If you put x by minus 2, means minus 9 into minus 2 is plus 18 minus 9. So 18 minus 9 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 minus 8 is 5. So the remainders are nothing but minus 9, 0, 5. So the correct option is minus 9, 0, 5 is our last one, that is option D.
Metal, then semi-metals. Covalent bond is formed only between the non-metals. One p block element, another p block element. Non-metals combine mutually sharing of electron to form the covalent bond. If you take example, for example, methane. So what type of bond is present in methane? Hydrogen placed between S and P block, so it is considered as P block, non-metal. So carbon is the non-metal element in P block. So this bond is present between the methane is nothing but covalent bond. If you take ethane, here also, if you take carbon dioxide, carbon between the P block non-metal, oxygen is also CS2. So whatever to gain the two electrons, so both reactions are simultaneously occurred is called a redox reaction. So based on the discussion, now we discuss about some questions. First question is, which of the following substance is associated with the weakest electrostatic force of attraction? Weakest electrostatic force of attraction. So look at that, HCl, NaCl, KCl and chlorine. So before going to this question, you know that which one is the very strong bond, ionic bond or covalent bond. So ionic bond is most strong bond because bond energy is very high. So here the NaCl, sodium S block, chlorine P block, so ionic bond. Potassium S block, chlorine P block, ionic bond. These two are in the form of covalent, but it is in the form of polar. But this is the example for homonuclear diatomic molecules. There is no any charge separation also. That's why this is the very weakest electrostatic force of attraction. So the answer of this question is chlorine. Next question, nature of the bond present in the sodium hydroxide. So you know that the formula for sodium hydroxide. So this is the formula for sodium hydroxide. So you know that sodium is S block, oxygen is in the form of P block. S and P, definitely it is in the form of ionic. Oxygen and hydrogen both are in the form of P block elements. So definitely here to form the covalent bond. So sodium S block, oxygen P block form between ionic bond, oxygen between hydrogen to form the covalent bond. So the answer is B, ionic and covalent bond. So next question.